Aloha and hello, and this is the Stream My Pod.
Stream it.
Stream my potty, oh baby.
Stream my potty.
This is our Netflix, TV, Hulu, Amazon Prime,
HBO, everything.
YouTube, hence the stream.
Yes.
Because those are streaming services.
Correct.
Man, we're good.
We are clever.
I know, right? But hey, so this one's going to be a little bit all over the board. Some cable TV, some premium TV.
Ooh.
But we're actually going to start out with everybody's favorite, and that's Netflix.
Netflix.
What'd you catch, and what should the people watch here now that it is April 16th, 17th, give or take, when you're hearing this?
Are you a fan of the Planet Earth show?
Back in college when Planet Earth was coming out, for sure, dude. Especially, I think it was Pole to Pole, where they did the oceans with the sharks and shit.
Yep.
That was a good one.
Yeah, so they've come out with a new one, and it's the top viewed show on Netflix
This
right
is a
now.
Netflix.
Yes.
Netflix's
It's
own,
called
not
Our Planet.
Okay. Interesting. Is it about our planet?
So I went into this thinking it was going to be Planet Earth, show the animals, talk about the animals.
Right.
It's more about how we're fucking our planet up.
Oh.
And kind of talking about
In your face, kind of?
somewhat to a degree.
Okay.
So I'm watching it. Get to this part where global warming
Of course.
fucking with these walruses.
It's the polar ice caps, I presume.
Yes.
Okay.
And they normally lay on these polar ice caps. Well, they're climbing these cliffs to get away from the polar ice caps and kind of lay out and sit out.
Okay.
Well, they're jumping to their deaths.
Why?
And they show it.
They're jumping off of the rock?
Falling off the cliffs and just dying.
Because there's too many of them
And
trying to be
people
up
are
there?
outraged by it.
No way.
Because it's walrus suicide.
How are they getting this camera? Is this on like a drone?
Yeah.
Is that what it looks like?
Dude, don't watch it. That part is crazy. But
Well,
the rest
is
of the
it
show
a-
is really cool.
Is it a one thing?
Yeah, it's just like one little clip.
No, I'm saying like our planet. Is it one?
There's like
an hour and a
10
half.
episodes.
Oh,
Yeah,
so there are
there's a
like
bunch of
different episodes.
Yeah, so like one was about the ocean.
It's not like a movie for
Yeah.
an hour and a half. It's
The one was about the ocean. There was another one about the plains where
interesting.
these cow-looking deer are leaving.
Cow-looking deer.
I don't know what they're called, but they're like
What?
leaving their kids out.
That's a funny description.
These babies are born, and these parents just leave them until they can walk and join the herd. And they literally have like 20 minutes before the herd has to leave. And
Wild. You know what I always think of
very interesting.
when I watch stuff like this? It's Family Guy. Damn, nature, you
scary.
So I'm like, yo,
Damn, nature, you scary.
because nature's fucked up,
It
man.
is. Dude, there's some wild shit. Like the whole
Yeah.
thing with like the turtles where they have to find their way to the water or they die.
No thanks.
It's crazy. But I would definitely
I am probably going
recommend
to check
people
that out.
checking it out when you're just chilling. Check
A little
it
bit
out.
of background type
Yeah.
action, but hey, shout out, staying with Netflix. There's a new show. It's called Special
Okay.
on Netflix. Have you scrolled past this one?
I've seen it.
Seen
I
it
haven't
popped
clicked
up.
on
It's
it
on the
yet.
trending now,
Yep.
or the new to Netflix. If you scroll through, there's a little bit of buzz, kind of a big deal. There's one season, dude, 6 episodes. They're like 15 minutes per episode. So
Hour and a half.
I don't know what the hell you call this. Is it a show? Is it a documentary?
Miniseries?
Yeah, that's probably a good word
That's
for it.
it.
I like that. Look at you. Yes, Pags contributing. We got ourselves a mini series. But the executive producer, Jim Parsons, who is the main guy from The Big Bang Theory.
Right.
He's
Sheldon.
yes.
Sheldon Cooper.
Yeah, he's good on that. But the reason I say you should watch it is because the fiance of a buddy of mine, Mr. Presley, actually for the Astros, a Miss Catherine or Kat Rogers, is actually in Chapter 2, The Deep End. She appears as Miss Katie for an episode. And I know if you follow her on Instagram, I believe it's at Kat Rogers, she's posted some pictures. Oh, it's Cat Rogers.
Ooh,
Double
double
cats.
cat.
Double
Kitty
cats. Kitty cat. Cat Rogers. But she's posted a few pics from being on set with Parsons and the main guy there. So it's pretty cool to kind of see it come together and see her on there. So I'm going to check it out. It's usually not my scene. I mean, it's a gay gentleman with cerebral palsy, but the 15-minute episodes, I may be able to get through it then.
Absolutely. It sounds like one that the ladies would like to sit down
Very
and watch.
much. It does say here for the bonus reason to watch is if you have any emotional connection or any connection at all to Speechless on ABC. This one is in that
There you
very
go.
similar genre.
Yeah, the ladies love that show.
Absolutely. But hey, anything outside of Netflix that we wanted to talk about?
So obviously I watch Game of Thrones. If you listen to the What Is Dead May Never Die podcast.
Do you know what HBO stands for?
Home box office.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Some people don't know that.
Yeah.
I'm just like, yeah, the box office, the movies,
And your home.
and your home. It's home movies. People are just like, oh, yeah, HBO. I don't know what that means.
So they were pumping the shit out of this before Game of Thrones. So there was like 8 minutes between the last episode of Game of Thrones and the new one. And they were pumping this show, and it looks sick. It's called Chernobyl.
Chernobyl on HBO.
Yes, and it looks pretty sick.
What's that one about?
It's about, I'm not sure. I know it's out in Asia, Europe area. Basically, this nuclear plant freaking blew, and everybody started dying, and they had to evacuate this entire town of people. And if you ever played Call of Duty, you go in there with your
Interesting.
gas mask on, and you
Sure.
have to kill the Nazis. But yeah, it looks pretty tight. I don't know how they're gonna go about it. Got the Skarsgård guy from Thor,
Okay.
the guy that doesn't wear his pants and he's
Nice.
running around, and he's basically like, "This town is fine." I think he says in the preview it's a on the level of an X-ray, and they're like, "No, it's fucking not." And,
Right.
like you saw these like dead deer just dying, and like,
Is that out now?
It's not out yet. I think it's coming out next week.
Coming out in a couple
Yeah.
weeks. Interesting. Yeah, I'll have to check that out or check out the
So if you want to feel bad and
previews.
watch some creepy ass shit,
yeah.
probably watch that.
Well, if you want to feel good and like you can escape any situation, you need to play You vs. the Wild on Netflix,
Ooh.
which is the new interactive show with Bear Grylls. Essentially, it's Man vs. Wild, where like he'll be halfway up a mountain and he'll be like, "Oh, should I go up and face the mountain lion, which is super scary, or fall to the abyss, which doesn't look pleasant either?" And you're just like, "Yeah, okay, none of these are good, but fall, do it." And then he'll fucking go that way, and you can go however many different avenues. So they had to have filmed a lot of shit, man.
right.
A lot of options.
I just don't get how those things work.
I don't know. Like, I want to pick them, but I want to do every one. I want to see, like, the total options, which is how they get you to watch, like, 50 times.
Okay, so I'm watching it and I pick one, and so he's already done both of them.
Yes.
Okay, so now I'm
That's what I'm saying. There's
I'm
going to be
thinking it's
thousands
live,
of
and these people
recordings.
are like this, and he's like, "I don't want to do that."
Well,
And
if you
they're
go up and then you could go left or right, you go right. Well, you could go up and left, so you got to watch again, or you could go down and then left, or down and then right, or all the above. So they get you to play however many different times, so you see all the options and the outcomes.
all right. I like Man vs. Wild. I remember in college when that
I
was
was
out,
never
and
into that.
people were freaking flipping out. That,
Fake ass shit.
Yeah, who cares? The guy ate the crazy shit, and they were like flipping
He's
out that
eating
there was
poop.
a picture that there's a Gatorade next to him. I'm like, oh yeah, the guy ate it. He's not actually starving for his life.
I
here,
know.
people.
I know, man. But I know you had one last thing that you wanted to share before we let the listeners go.
So back to feeling bad about yourselves. You don't have to feel bad about yourselves after watching this show because this was an hour and a half of just absolute debauchery. And I watched it and I just like couldn't believe some of the shit. It's called The Dirt. I don't know if any of you people out there are Motley Crue fans.
Okay.
So you got Nikki Sixx, the head of Motley Crue, and then you got
Yeah, they were wild as shit, man.
Tommy Lee,
Yeah.
famous for
Drummer, right?
Well, he drummed his wiener on the horn when he was banging Pam Anderson.
Yeah, there it is.
Honking the horn of the boat with his dick. It was crazy.
That's funny.
But yeah, so it's basically like them starting the band and pretty much everything that comes about it, and like it's fucking crazy, man. I know the famous
Sex,
Nikki
drugs.
Sixx. I used to suck heroin out of a garden hose. He literally fucking did. Like,
That's
this shit
crazy.
is crazy how he just like he's at Tommy Lee's wedding and he's marrying Farrah Fawcett. He married her, which
Okay.
I had no idea they were married.
Yeah, I didn't know
And
that.
he's just freaking out of his mind at this wedding and like just showing like true road trips
Right.
on the van and like
Oh, gosh.
just Absolutely. I mean, I'm sure they overdid it a little bit.
So it's a
in the
behind the
movies.
scenes look into Motley Crue,
And just kind of how they came about. And
I like
dude,
that.
You have to see it. Nikki Sixx, there's this love scene where he's like, I finally fell in love. Her name was heroin. And he's just fucking, I mean, he died like 3 times.
Yeah.
And they brought him back.
Amazing.
There's like this scene where he's in the ambulance and he's driving and this dude is doing CPR on him and they're like, call it. And he's like, I'm not letting Nikki fucking Sixx die in my ambulance. And he's just like, they stick him with the thing and he comes back alive. It's just crazy.
God. That's
You got to check it out. It's wild.
Well, I'm going to watch that before next week's Stream My Pod.
Stream it.
Stream My Pod. So thanks, you guys, for hanging in there with us. This is Stream My Pod, brought to you by Too Close to Call. As always, I am Miho.
And this is Pags.
We'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Absolutely.